Hello and welcome. My name is Ajaxpost and this is Transport Fever 2 in the Island Hub series. And we're watching, well, part of our latest freight system. We're taking grain from our hub here in Ajaxima, the epic multimodal exchange. And that's going up to our brickworks up here, where another train, a new train, is going to exchange this grain for food. And I thought I'd follow this train in particular because I've made a change which I kind of hinted at in the last episode, which was to separate out totally the passenger and the freight lines between, well, the main line to Ajaxima and Fukushima, because we're getting quite a few trains coming along here now, some busy and important freight routes like this one. It's travelling very slowly up there. So that this train, which is sat waiting here, can hopefully take that grain from the brickworks hub and off to the food processor and turn it into food, which these trains will take back then to the MMX hub for shipment onward into Ajaxima and indeed Manila, which also requires food. And we've turned over into 1913 and we have here, lots of exciting new Japanese locos, all of which I imagine are modded. I think that ship, the Schaffhausen, whatever it was called, is a vanilla game vehicle. The mods are all in my collection on Steam, a link to which you can find in the description below. So please do check them out. There's some fabulous modders of the Asian vehicle variety out there. Now, what are we planning to do today? I'm going to have a go at putting in something that I've been putting off for quite some time, but Martin commented on the previous video saying it's a wonderful feature and it is actually quite easy to use. Just give it a go. And that's the Flying Junction. Now, I think I did actually use it a couple of times in Transport Fever 1, and I've had it in my collections for both the games I've been playing here in Transport Fever 2, but because I always seem to struggle getting the angles right and stuff, I just faff around too much. And in my normal sort of talk over what I'm doing series for Bristol, that could take forever. So that could turn into a very long episode indeed. But now that I'm doing all the building pretty much at speed, I can do things that might take a while to get done, because I'll just speed them up so you won't notice it's taking me 2 hours to do something that takes everyone else 10 minutes. We're going to put it in here, not because this is a particularly busy route as yet. We have got a profitable passenger line from DMBN Fu going into Ajaxima. Yeah, that's doing very nicely. We've got just the one train here at the moment taking grain from this farm up to the hub, which those trains we were following earlier then take up into Fukushima for turning into food, which comes back. It's a whole circular business. But as we saw in the last episode, there are a few industries up here which we might start feeding back down here into the freight hub at Ajaxima. So yeah, we need to be prepared for an amount of traffic here, and these sort of crossovers are a bit naff. So I think my trains are distant enough so I can do this. So let's crack on. So I'm going to do this as a speed build. So I'm going to stop talking. The soundtrack will kick in and I will rejoin you in just a few minutes, I imagine. It won't even be a few minutes. It should be just a short time. I'll rejoin you once I've completed this little engineering. Oh, I can't do it yet. I've got nearly a 2 million deficit in the bank account. Okay, I'm going to roll forward a little bit, then we'll come back. I should have noticed that. We'll come back and I will spend the money once I've got money to play with. Well, that didn't actually take too long. We haven't even got past the end of January yet, and I now have nearly 1 million in the bank, and all the trains are in fact out of the way, so that makes this a bit easier. So I will, again, as I was promising, I'll hand over to the soundtrack and the speed build, and I'll rejoin you again in a few moments. Well, indeed, that didn't take long at all. That was relatively straightforward. Yeah, I think we are... oh, there's no... No, it's okay. Nothing impinges on anything else there. Yeah. I think that should be fine. Actually, let's get rid of those rocks. They look a bit threatening to me. That should be fine. And now neither the freight nor the passenger routes will interfere with each other. Oh, and I've got over 1.5 million in the bank. Again, just to keep my loan interest down, I'll keep that bank balance low, down to 26 million. I have played on for a little while since I finished the last episode, and we start getting into earning real money now. A lot of the routes are settling down into place and earning proper money, so we should be able to spend... Oh, hang on, what's going on here? Start spending appropriately. I don't like that. Why is it doing it like that? Yeah, because the speed on that, I noticed, wasn't terribly clever, was it? Okay, what I'm going to do is see if I can spend some money and get that so you don't have that ludicrous difference in height between those in and outbound lines. Right, just finish that off so we've got some money to spend. Should that be enough? Probably. Okay. No, that's just weird, isn't it? Don't know why it was doing that. Can I lay this so it actually conforms to the other track? That's better, isn't it? And it's faster, by the look of it, than 59, which is what it was doing before. Okay. And can I connect you back up okay? Yeah. No problem there at all. Sweet. Okay, that did cost me money, which is a bit tight. But not too tight to mention. Sorry, I just have to include some bizarre lyric that I remember from... yeah. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah. I was slightly worried the tracks are running into each other, which sometimes they do. Okay, so that's just one of the sort of maintenance things I wanted to get out of the way. As you'll have seen if you watched the previous episodes, and in fact you can see it from here, I am not smoothing off the terrain, so we do have some very deep and unattractive cuts and some, yeah, very distasteful looking tunnel entrances and bridges and so on, because smoothing terrain takes a lot of money and I don't have that to spare just yet, but I will take care of that over time as we start becoming really profitable. Okay, now before we went into that speed build to do the Flying Junction, we discovered that Ajaxima wants fuel. Not much. So I don't think we've got fuel. Yeah. The new industries popping up that I enabled in 1910. Yes, we're getting some interesting choices open to us. And it does look as if the game is putting the new industries in relatively good locations, sort of near enough to related industrial sites. So I think we saw the arrival of some iron ore and coal and oil close to the sort of secondary or second stage or tertiary stage industry in those particular chains, which is nice. So no, the sawmill we're not going to do yet. What I was thinking actually, Jakarta wants food and fuel, so we could start bringing that down here again further. We've already got a line going into Jakarta for passenger services, so we could use some of that temporarily at least for our freight lines to get the fuel and food into Jakarta. I also actually want to split this up because we've got a good route going here, which is simply sending fuel into Baghdad, which is fine, and 70% of that demand has been satiated. But I think we could supply more. We've got a lot waiting here at the station. 256. We're not using it all by any stretch. We are at full tilt out of that oil well, which is okay. Do we have another one around here anywhere? Yes, we've got one there. Oh, that's the one on that route, isn't it? So we could feed that into there as well. But what I'm thinking here, we have got one route, which is going all the way up from the oil well here to the crude oil refinery, and then back again with the refined oil into the fuel refinery to bring that back here to the Baghdad oil well, for then onward shipment by truck into Baghdad, which works. I mean, the trains are quite profitable, as you can see here, 1.2 million in the last year. But I think it might work better if we split this into two routes. So we had the oil coming up here to the fuel refinery, and the train taking back the fuel, and we have another route taking the crude oil from here to the oil refinery and taking the refined oil back there. So they're still working at it and carrying freight in both directions, but I think that will allow me to carry more on that route, which means we can get more fuel coming out here. Yeah, we're not even halfway through capacity on that. Get more fuel coming out of there, which we can then send to the likes of Ajaxima, and more importantly Jakarta. Is there anywhere else? Yerevan. I keep talking about, oh, we've got stone building up here. Oh, who else wants combat? Ajaxima. Don't click that. Click that. Yeah. Okay. Do one thing at a time, man. So I'm going to split this up here. Split this route up. And then we'll look at getting fuel taken down into our MMX hub here for onward shipment to the sounds on the other side of this big hill. Right, so once again, I will stop talking. I'll hand over to the soundtrack, and I will rejoin you after the speed build section, and we'll see how well this new redesigned fuel route actually works. Okay, so we've split that line up into two now, which should make it more efficient, I'm hoping. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough money. I need another 3.5 million or something to put a second train on the Dien Bien Phu end of this network. Oh, no, not quite. I've got 2.2. You see, we are getting quite profitable now. But we do now have two trains taking the crude oil out of the well station there, which should work quite nicely. Okay, do we have enough yet? Can I afford a second train on this line? Manage vehicle. Can I clone you? Not quite. How much do I need? I can't be that far away. I'm getting another train on here. No. Oh, it's 4 million, is it? Gosh. Oh, there's no depot. Oh, sorry, I wasn't I wasn't watching what it was saying. Oh, in that case, what we'll do, we'll clone one of you. Yeah. Alternate platforming. Do I have enough? Because these are quite short routes. Do I have enough space for 2 trains, or should I make them a single, much longer train? Interesting. Okay, what we'll do, we will clone one of you. That's it. That's train 19. Then once we get you on the track, I'm hoping I can send you then onto the DMBN food, the second half of this line. So we are getting through that oil surplus there quite nicely. So if you go there, I think, okay, yeah, I think we can. Actually, what I'll do is I'll send you, seeing as you're there, on to the next stage of this this journey. Let's wait for you to get it. Once you've deposited your cargo of 72 oils, the crude variety, I will send you then, yep, onto that line there. Okay, what's your problem? No path. Yes, there is a path. No, there isn't. Yeah, absolutely right, there isn't. Yeah, you do need to be on there. Okay. Can you do that now? Yes, you are. Splendid. Right, so you'll carry on that way. Lovely, and that should give us plenty. Oh, I need more signals here. That should give us plenty of fuel at the end of the day, which we can send on to our other cities. Okay, so I will roll this forward. Again, we're making quite good money. We're 1.5 million in the bank already. So I will roll this forward, and then our next step, I think, will be to get a track out of Baghdad oil well here to the MMX. Oh, we've got an oil well in Chengdu. Where's that? Is that going to be useful to me in any real sense? Oh, we could say, oh yes, all there. And we've got a plastics factory. It produces plastic, but it's a chemical plant. We've got, yeah, oh yes. See what I mean? It's kind of near enough, yeah, to other related industries. Okay, as I said, I'll roll this forward a little bit, and I'll come back to you once I've got some more money, and we will do the next stage in this enterprise, which is sending a freight train from Baghdad to Ajax MMX carrying fuel. Alright, so that system appears to be working rather well, and I took our loan down to around 25 million in all, so I've taken out another 5 million again, so we're back up to our 30 million maximum loan, and we're getting through our oil okay, and both the services coming through the fuel refinery here are in profit, which is excellent. In fact, how generally speaking are we doing? Oh, that's that. We've only got 2 services which are losing money at the moment. One of which is the freight carrier, the food train from Ajaxima hub off into Manila, which has been going for a while and has been taking a bit of time to actually get enough food to make money. But that's starting to pick up now, so I may need to increase the size of that train. So that should make money, and a local bus route in Turpan. But everything else is making money, which is pretty darned impressive if you ask me. Anyway, so we have 5 million to spend. We now need to take the fuel that we're getting from this system here. We may need to increase the fuel coming in here. Do we have oil? Oh, we have the oil here, don't we? So, oh yes, we could send that to the hub and then take that back up there for onward delivery, or would it be more efficient to take it round there. Interesting, I don't know yet, but let's get this route from the Baghdad network into our hub so we can start feeding oil into Ajaxima. So once again, I will stop talking, we'll put the soundtrack up and get into the speed build, and I'll rejoin you again once that job has been done. I'm not sure if we'll have enough money to put a train on. We shall see. We'll certainly get the route set up, ready to crack on with this next stage of our freight development. Anyway, I'll see you again in a few moments' time. And there we have it. We have a new line going from Baghdad, the oil well here, which will carry fuel all the way down to our multimodal exchange here south of Ajaxima. I always have the map up the wrong way. I mean, this is the orientation it was designed with when I created the map, but because possibly because all my towns that I've got connected so far are up here, I always seem to have it in this orientation. But there you are. Yeah, so that's a new line coming down into Ajaxima. Now, I think my vehicles can carry fuel. Where is the fuel actually required? If I turn this on, it might show me. Well, there's a fuel there. You require... But it doesn't tell me how much it requires, does it? So there's fuel there. You're an orange, you're a yellow, you're an industrial building, aren't you? Anywhere else? No? Is that it? So just the 6 still. Yeah, so there isn't much demand there at the moment, but what I think will really kick this off is when I connect up Jakarta, which I think is our nearest other town that requires fuel. Does Fukushima? No, Fukushima doesn't. Dien Phu doesn't. No. Okay, so yes, this won't make any money for a while yet, quite some time, but and it may carry. I'm not sure how much fuel it will carry. Maybe it will carry some. There's none left for it. That will take a while to turn up anyway. So yes, that will start making money once we complete the next stage of this freight line going down here to Jakarta. But we've got things in place now, so we're giving industries notice that we want fuel to be created, to be refined and shipped out here to our main hub. So that's where we will leave it for the moment, I think. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of the Island Hub Transport Fever 2 series. If you've enjoyed this, it'd be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. I'm trying to find a train that might be fun to follow. I don't know any. We've followed them all before, haven't we? Yeah. You? I think, yeah, we will follow you. So anyway, as I was saying, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, it'd be great to hear from you. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Just click on the old thumbs up button. Even better though, if you've got any thoughts about what I'm doing with the game, things I could do next. There's so many options now which are open to us. Or anything you feel like saying, then please do just drop a note into the comments box below. That would be awesome. Other than that, of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now. And that way you'll know when I upload another one of these or any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, Ajaxpost, here in Transport Fever 2. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.